Lights, camera, action. All right. What's up, guys? Caleb here. We're in a new setup. Due to some, I was gonna sound all technical. It's really just my grandma staying over. I was trying to get the lighting all right. I low key for the next setup. I want to get like a Japanese changing wall. That would be so flames. Um, I feel like having one of those would be so fire. So today, I really want to talk to you guys about passion and purpose and the pursuit of following your goals, dreams, ambitions, and aligning them with God too at the same time. So to start, I'll give you a little bit of backstory. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. For those who have been subscribed for a long time, you guys already know that. For those of you that don't know, my whole life, I've been following my dreams. My whole life, I've been doing the thing of pursuing what I believe to be my purpose. And at first, I thought it was music. I thought it was being an artist, being a rapper specifically. And I know when people hear this, they're like, rapper? Yeah, I do this. I'm nice. But, sorry, that was the ego again. Me and my mentor were working on becoming more humble and grounded, or whatever that means. But, no, I'm just kidding. What was I talking about? There you go. ADHD. I believed in the pursuit of my passions. Now, in my story, right, I have two parents. My mother's a social worker. My dad is a pastor. And he's also, a blue-collar, hard-hat kind of guy. And they believed in the traditional route. They believed in education. They believed in having a stable job, stability, becoming a participating member in society. They invested in education. They sent me and my sister to a very good school, very good private schools in Long Island. And they truly invested all of their time, money, and resources into getting me and my sister into the working world. And there was a time when I was in middle school where I told both of them that I'm not going to college. And you could imagine what that did. It was you would have thought I blew up the house. But from young, I always felt I had a calling on my life. I always felt like I had a direction and I need to follow it. And that started with the small seeds of loving music, loving art, looking up to Kanye, Kobe, paragons that represented what I believed in. And it gave me a sense that I should go in this direction. And when I was in middle school, going into high school, there was a fine arts creative team connected to the church, actually. It was a church private school, triumvirate, whatever the hell. It was crazy. But it was a competition every year where you can test your skills against some of the best creative people on the planet. I think that all music, art, and all that sucks nowadays because they're not scooping up the kids from the church like how they used to. But it was a high intensity environment. And that was the first time that I was like, I want to do this. And I necessarily didn't know where it would take me. I didn't even know if it would take me anywhere, but I believed that I would somehow be able to achieve that goal. And that's what I'm truly here to talk about. Belief. That in the pursuit of your passion, in the pursuit of your purpose, belief is the strongest thing that you can have as a tool in the pursuit of your goals. I'm not here to make a task calendar list for you. I'm not here to give you a self-improvement app. I'm not here to if you work out at 3 in the morning and do red light sauna and then oxygen therapy and then swim, I'm not here to tell you that. I'm here to show you that some of you have a deep calling on your life from God, and you've been ignoring it out of fear. You've been ignoring it out of approval. Your desire to seek approval in other people's lives. You've been ignoring it out of God only knows. And your purpose is suffering. And it gets smaller, and that passion for it and that fire gets smaller and smaller the less you fan it on, the less you go after it. Now, some of you may be well into your purpose and well into your calling and your passions, and you may feel, okay, well, this is the pick-me-up I needed. How do I get to this next level? Some of you may be very well successful and already have reached the summit, and some of you are just beginning your journey into your passions, purpose, and calling. And the first step to pursuing those passions and those purposes is that connection to what you're doing. If you don't have a deep connection to the thing you're doing, if you're not deeply connected and invested in it, then it's a hobby. It's not a passion. It's not a calling. It's what you do recreationally. And if you do feel connected, it'll almost be like you're drawn to it. The first time I got into a recording studio, the very, very first time I ever recorded anything, I was 13 years old. It was low. I'm gonna just be honest. It was low key a trap house. Like it was like. Listen, man. I'm a dude. I got a crazy story, but like I said, at least I don't got a boring testimony. It was in a trap house, and some of the older guys I was around, they were recording, and they were spitting down bars, and they asked me, "Yo, bro, you want to record?" And I remember recording that. Whatever it was, and I was like, yo, this is trash. But I just somehow couldn't get enough of it. The process of watching rappers spit into the mic, the process of watching the dude pulled up Pro Tools, and I didn't even know it was Pro Tools at the time. And the fact he had it back then was low-key kind of like, oh, snap, like, he's fake up, because Pro Tools was like $5 back in the day. So watching that whole process and then being inspired by my favorite artists like Michael Jackson, like Kanye, like, my favorite rappers like Nas and Jay-Z, like those were the guys I wanted to be because they symbolize this level of independence and freedom of going your own way and betting on yourself and that attitude of, nah, I'm going to get mine my own way. That's what inspired me. And the rest was history. I was on the rap group called the Bear Max. 300,000 plays on Spotify, 2,000 monthly listeners. Kind of going in and out of recording studios at Empire, sitting in the same rooms that Kendrick Lamar recorded Good Kid, Mad City at, same out rooms that Drake recorded Thank Me Later in, like Mac Miller too, Macklemore. That studio was fire. They dropped the ball on that. But sitting in those same rooms and feeling like, and my passion has brought me here now. I forgot where I was going with all this. But yes, that when you first discover your passions and your purpose and your calling, the journey is not linear. It's sometimes up, sometimes down, sometimes left, sometimes right. Sometimes you go so far that then you end up right back where you started. And there's beauty in that. Sometimes the success stories, we're losing vital pieces of valuable information because we tell the success story like a story. Beginning, middle, end. Beginning, climax, resolution. And sometimes it's beginning, climax, 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 end, resolution, beginning. And that path will lead you on places that you've never necessarily thought you would go. And I'm not necessarily meaning heights either. The amount of abundant relationships and people I've met through the journey of chasing all the things that I was into at the time led me to some places. It led me across the world. But I say this not to be like, yeah, I made it the farthest. I'm at, no, bro. I work a job. Nobody bumps my music right now. Like, I'm not saying this to toot my own horn. I'm saying this to say that it's often the pursuit of the dream that really is the dream. The pursuit itself ends up being the best part and not the destination. Right? And getting started is the most important thing. Taking those small steps in the right direction. If you're a YouTuber, getting a camera or recording a video on your iPhone. For example, I had written down raps on raps on raps on raps on raps before I even stepped in the studio. I didn't even know how I was going to get to a studio. But I had pursued this with no means in sight. And as I sit here now, I'm thinking, wow, I was really on to something. But I see now that I learned to value the pursuit, right? And then as I got older, I'd started to focus on money and stability and being able to take care of myself, because the whole starving artist thing is not sexy, all right? Some of you guys think it is. It's really not. When you're out on a date with a girl and she's like, and you look at her to pay, like, sorry, bro. I can see why women are mad. But ADHD again, because I forgot where we're going. But the pursuit of your passion and your purpose is one of the most important things you can do for yourself. And staying with them, no matter where you go or how far you reach or how you get there, right? How you get to that place. And how you get to that place, that's important. Because what the next video that I record, the next episode, will be called Vision. That'll be the next video we talk about. Thank you, guys. I didn't want to run too late. 12 minutes kind of seems like the thing. Thank you, though. Have a good night.